Welcome to Google Play PolicyBytes. I'm Joe, the Outreach and Policy Education Lead for Google Play. Thanks for joining us. We're excited to have you here. Today we'll be reviewing the 2019 policy updates. We'll talk through some examples, best practices for compliance. So let's talk about the most recent policy updates. We've made some changes to our misleading claims policy, and we'll highlight some new guidance on medical, health-related, and government services apps. Additionally, we'll talk a bit about changes to the metadata policy to ensure your description, title, and store listing accurately represent your app. We also have some updates on our minimum functionality requirements of all of our apps. And finally, an update on our ad network certification program, particularly ad SDKs serving users in our Designed for Families program. So let's dive in. First, we're making clarifications to our misleading claims policy. This change particularly impacts medical, health, and government services-related apps. We want to ensure that they do not misrepresent their apps' contents and that they clearly describe their functionality. We also want to make sure that their claims made in the apps are actually possible to implement. Let's take a look at some examples. The first example on the left includes an app that introduces dietary information as a way that may help cancer prevention or treatment. It does not include claims that the method will cure cancer. However, the example on the right shows an app featuring a medical or health-related claim that are misleading or potentially harmful by using terms as 100% cancer prevention and cancer cure. We don't allow apps that contain false or misleading information like this, including in the description, title, and screenshots. Next, we'll look at apps that falsely claim affiliation with a government entity or provide or facilitate government services for which they are not properly authorized. Deploying an app by disguising as a government service or entity which is not certified by those government services or agencies is not allowed. If you're a government services app, please provide all of the proper evidence of your credentials in your store listing. Now, let's talk about changes to the metadata policy. We don't allow apps with misleading, improperly formatted, non-descriptive, irrelevant, excessive, or inappropriate metadata, including but not limited to the app's description, developer name, title, icon, screenshots, and promotional images. Developers must provide a clear and well-written description. We also don't allow unattributed or anonymous user testimonials in the description. Let's take a look at what's acceptable and prohibited. Unattributed or anonymous user testimonials are not allowed. If you can attribute your user testimonial to a source, like a publication, full username, or first and last name, that's allowed. Also, you can't use excessive details or data comparison of apps or brands, like saying something is 50% cooler or 100% faster than X brand. Word blocks and vertical horizontal word lists, like the ones listed on the screen, including repetitive, excessive, or irrelevant content, is not allowed. Keep your app's descriptions succinct and straightforward. Shorter descriptions tend to result in a better user experience, especially on devices with smaller displays. Excessive length, detail, improper formatting, or repetition can result in a policy violation. And now let's talk about our repetitive content policy. We don't allow apps that merely provide the same experience as other apps already on Google Play. Apps should provide value to users through the creation of unique content or services. Some examples include copying content from other apps without adding any original content or value, or creating multiple apps with highly similar functionality, content, and user experience. If these apps are each small in content volume, developers should consider creating a single app that aggregates all of that content. And apps that are created by an automated tool, wizard, or service, or based on templates and submitted to Google Play by the operator on behalf of that service or on behalf of other persons are not allowed. These screenshots are apps coming from one developer, but the in-app experience and store listing contains virtually the same content and user experience. These are all prohibited. The minimum functionality policy ensures your app provides a stable, engaging, and responsive user experience. Examples of common violations include apps that are designed to do nothing or have no function, and status symbol apps. Check out our Android developer guidelines and best practices related to app quality and compatibility. This will help you properly configure your app to restrict its availability to incompatible devices and platform versions, as this could result in suspension. Both screenshots are policy violations. First, the screenshot on the left is an example of an app that has no functionality and appears to be for testing purposes. This is not allowed. The screenshot on the right is an example of an I'm Rich app and provides no functionality. Again, these types of apps are prohibited. If you serve ads in your app and the target audience for your app only includes children, as described in the Families policy, then you must use one of Google Play's certified ad networks. If the target audience for your app includes both children and older users, you must implement age screening measures and make sure that your ads shown to children come exclusively from one of Google Play's certified ad networks. Apps in the Design for Families program are required to only use Google Play's certified ad networks. Ensure that when real-time bidding is used to serve ads to children, the creatives have been reviewed and privacy indicators are propagated to the bidders. The use of Google Play's certified ad networks is only required if you're using ad SDKs to serve ads to children. But we've made some exceptions. You may use in-house advertising whereby you use SDKs to manage cross-promotion of your apps or other owned media and merchandising. Or if you enter into direct deals with advertisers whereby you use SDKs for inventory management. Those are permitted without ad network self-certification with Google Play. However, you're still responsible for ensuring your ad content and data collection practices are compliant with Play's user data policy and families policy. Lastly, here are some more Google Play developer resources to learn more about this policy change. Check out the Google Play Academy's new policy curriculum at g.co/playacademy/policy. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure your email is up to date in the Google Play console so you receive our regular updates, including about policy, tooling updates, and more. And that's it. Thanks for joining us. It's you, the developer community, that helps keep Google Play a fun and safe place for everyone. So until next time, stay awesome.